Okay, this is the last review video. If you can do everything on all 10 videos, this will be the easiest final you've ever taken. If you can't, well, there'll be some things you have trouble with. Now, solve by factoring. You need to break it up. This is the difference of squares. So once you have it factored, you then set each one equal to 0 and solve. So once it's a power of 1, you just get the x by itself. So I'm going to subtract 3. And here I would add 3. Here, first step of factoring is factor out the GCF. This is the one most people get wrong. You factor out that x. So x equals 0 or x minus 3 equals 0. Then you'd add 3. Here, trinomials. So last term's plus. What do you multiply to get 12, but you add to get 7? And that would be 3 and 4. So x minus 3 equals 0 or x minus 4 equals 0. So add 3, add 4. Here, solve by taking the square root. So that is, you just literally take the square root of both sides, but you have to be careful. When you have a variable squared equals a number, when you square root, it's plus or minus that number, the square root of that number. So in this case, it'd be 3x equals plus or minus 5. Then you divide by 3. So it's plus or minus 5/3, or if you want to put the plus or minus on top, that's okay. In this one, it's 3x equals plus or minus 10. Then divide by 3. Now solving using quadratic formula, it's already beyond one of the reviews. Negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So it's negative 6 plus or minus the square root of 24 over 12. Kind of writing this weird, running out of room. Square root of 24 is 4 and 6. 4 times 6 is 24. Square root of 4 is 2. So it's negative 6 plus or minus 2 square root of 6 over 12. And 2 goes into all three terms. So it's negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 6 over 6. So this one, negative 7 plus or minus the square root of 49, that's 7 squared, minus 4 times 2 is 16, all over 2a. That even hurt my ears. So it's negative 7 plus or minus the square root of 33 over 4. Can't simplify 33. And the last thing, how do you find the X-Intercept and Y Intercept? You put 0 into the other variable. So X-Intercept, put 0 in for Y. So 0 plus 4 is 4. I feel a coughing fit coming on, so just watch out. So we square root both sides. That's plus or minus 2 equals x minus 1. Add 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. 1 minus 2 is negative 1. Y-intercept, put 0 in for x. 0 minus 1 is negative 1. Squared is 1. So you'd have y plus 4 equals 1. Subtract 4, y equals negative 3. Excuse me. X-intercept, put 0 in for y. So negative 16 equals negative 16 x minus 2 squared. So I'm going to divide both sides by negative 16. So 1 equals x minus 2 squared. Square root both sides, so it's plus or minus 1 equals x minus 2. Add 2. So it's 2 plus 1 is 3, or 2 minus 1 is 1. Define the y-intercept, put 0 in for x. 0 plus 2 is 2, squared is 4, times negative 16 is negative 64. Then I'm going to add 16. So it's a negative 48. Here, do this one on your own and turn me back on. Okay, I'm assuming you're done. So x-intercept, put 0 in for y. Put 0 into the other variable. I told you. Won't you do it for me? So divide both sides by negative 4. Square root, so it's plus or minus. The square root of 1 is 1. Add 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. 2 minus 1 is 1. Y-intercept. Put 0 in for x. Y minus 4 equals 0 minus 2 is negative 2. Squared is 4. Times negative 4 is negative 16. Add 4. Y equals negative 12. That is everything. Mercy, mercy, mercy. How can we have so much fun?